You wanna be on top.
But it's A Nikki on the scene. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another beat with me. And if you're not, welcome back. Alright, so boom. I watched that entire 3-part series, and I will say this, Tyra is a very weird person. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean she's just very weird. She just moves weird. And the reason why I say that, because even in the moments that she talked about how initially she wanted to do America's Next Top Model because she wanted to showcase different models, you know, variety, different sizes of model, different races of women, all this stuff. She wanted to just push diversity, especially black women. She wanted to push black women and put them on a platform, whatever, right? And just be like an all-woman inclusive thing, which is like, for what it sounds cool, it sounds great, it sounds like, okay, this is ahead of its time, you know, inclusivity. But however, when she actually started getting to the show, started getting producers, getting all the backup for it and everything, and when the show started and they were doing it, it's like the vision that she was trying to push, she was doing the complete opposite behind the scenes. And it was just very like hypocritical on her end, because I'm like, how are you trying to promote, I don't want to say body positivity because that wasn't really much of a thing back then, but it's like, let's say you're trying to promote inclusivity, you're trying to promote, you know, push for more black women to be seen, this and that, blah, 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 like all these positive things, but you're not doing that behind the scenes. Like, you're shaving girls' heads, you're race swapping people, you're pretending to be homeless, you're pulling people's teeth out. Like, this over here is not matching what you're going for. So that's why I say she's very weird. And even how she treated like her co-workers slash friends, I guess, at the time, which was kind of sad in a way. I kind of felt bad for them a little bit. I felt bad for them only because it's like, dang, this is somebody you guys, you know, you worked with, you built a whole business relationship with. They kind of pretty much came up together, you know, with this idea, with this production, with everything. And which Jay? It's the Jay with the blonde hair, him. He basically was saying like how there's like a point in time, I guess he wanted to leave, do something else, do something new, which happens a lot on reality TV shows or just shows in general. People get tired, they get bored of doing the same thing, and he just probably wanted to do something different. He sent that email and she was just didn't speak to him at all. And the only times that she spoke to him is when they were like, you know, judging whatever, and then she'll just randomly, I guess, do outbursts or just say a comment, you know, just very weird acting. But then outside of that, nothing. There's no congratulations, there's no good luck on your journey, nothing. Like, she was pissed. And I'm just like, as somebody that you worked with for years, through all these cycles, you ain't gonna say nothing. So it was that situation, and there was just so much stuff that was happening. Like, even with some of the models, like the one model that got R-worded on the show, like, and the thing is, I think it was cycle 1 or cycle 2, one of them cycles. It was an early cycle, and I'm like, I had never seen this episode. The episodes that they was talking about, I had never seen it. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And I used to watch America's Next Top Model, but I think I was like mid cycles. I was probably like cycle 18, 19, 20. Like, I was around there. Like, them older cycles, I was not watching that. And the girl, you know, that incident happened to her because they went to some country. I think it was in Spain or somewhere. They was somewhere. They was out of the US. And, you know, they practically treated it like a reality TV show. They had the cameras everywhere, this and that. The girls met these guys. I guess they was like driving them around, whatever, because they would send them on like random, I guess, missions, like do this around the city or do this, go up here on this block. Like, they would have them just do random stuff. So they end up, you know, meeting these guys or had these guys driving around. Then later that night, they came over, they had some drinks. You know, everybody got a little touchy, whatever, right? But then the girl, she ended up waking up. You know, obviously she's inebriated. Clothes were off, and again, you can guess what happened. And that was all recorded. And also, this was a girl, you know, she came from a small town. You know, she was like one of those people that just didn't really dress, I guess, too well. So she felt like she wasn't cute like that, but just happened to randomly just be like, well, not randomly, but her boyfriend's like, oh, you should do America's Next Top Model. She ended up doing it, got it. She didn't think she was going to get it, but that's just for context. But basically, her storyline was pretty much she has a boyfriend, and then she does this on the show, so that now became the girlfriend who cheated, and they blew that up in this girl's face. She felt ashamed. She definitely was violated, and pretty much the production did nothing about it. And all of them, both Jays, Tyra, were pretty much just like, you know, I'm sorry to hear that, but You know, basically the bottom line, it's reality TV. No one knew anything. We didn't know. We weren't there. This and that. The cameras were supposed to be off. Maybe if we were there, this probably a lot of deflection, a lot of like, whoopsie, reality TV. And that's how a lot of the judges and like other people that worked on the show were like. A lot of them were just saying, it's reality TV. It's reality TV. Like, you know, it was crazy. It probably shouldn't have happened, but it made good for TV. Like, that was a lot of them. And I'm just like, y'all really messed up. And even, I feel like even today, it's still some level to that. But I also think today's reality TV, there's some markers in place for certain things not to happen. But back then, it was like anything flies. But yeah, so I thought that was really messed up. And then also just for the models themselves, also it's like, a lot of them couldn't really get a lot of deals outside of America's Next Top Model, because another thing that they will push is that, all right, if you come in the show, you're going to get the model contracts, you're going to get brand deals, attention, you know, your name's going to be out there, blah, blah, blah. They sell this entire dream. But the reality of the matter, most modeling companies, especially like prestigious ones, they was looking at this show like, y'all not serious, because they saw the BS that they was putting those girls through, that they felt like it wasn't giving model. Now, granted, there was some few girls that was like, all right, cool. I think there's some model-esque behind them. But for the most part, it was TV stuff. TV junk. So a lot of those models didn't get anywhere. A lot of them went back to getting regular jobs, you know, doing good things too. Like they had some pretty good jobs, you know, what they're doing and everything. They're living a better life. They're doing what they actually want to do. But it's like, they sacrificed their younger years doing this show, getting their teeth pulled, you know. I guess probably some of them dealing with depression, this and that. It's like so much. But like I said, it was just like a show for reality TV, and a lot of them just did not have a thriving career outside of that, with the exception of a few. Like obviously there's Wendy Harlow, there's I think Eva Michelle, and some other chicks. I don't remember. But those are two main people I remember. But essentially, there was really no dream, no guarantee outside of that, you know. And that was like the really messed up part. And then just kind of bringing it all back to Tyra. I don't want to throw the word narcissist out there, but I feel like she might have some elements of it, to be honest. And also, I think that she's the queen of deflection. If I were to put a face behind the word deflection, Tyra Banks would be that person, because I'm like, the way she deflects questions and comments and very straightforward statements, it's honestly impressive, because I'm like, I never see somebody just literally go bloop, yeah, you know, and da da da. It's like, girl, just answer the question. But she deflected a lot in this series, well, this documentary, and she just did not want to take accountability to some degree. It's like, girl, like, you the host. You know. And granted, every boss got a boss. She's a boss to whoever else she got a boss to listen to, and you know, obviously that's like the network and all the other people, whatever. So maybe I think somewhere down the line, I think she had good intentions with the show, but then once it got really picked up and popular, doing this thing, she making money, da da da, something along those years switched for her. Maybe it became more about the money. It probably became more about the money and the antics that they were doing on the show, and it's like, how can we make it more eye-grabbing, more intense, crazy. And then even if you watch those seasons and see how Tyra herself progressed, she kind of gets into this more like very like kind of like erratic, whimsical kind of person. Like, it just gets a little strange. Like I said, she's also very odd. Like, if I were to meet her in person, I'll probably be like, I probably won't say too much. Like, there's something, her energy just don't seem right through the camera, in my opinion. I think she's a beautiful woman still. I think she still looks good for her age. But I just think there's something not up right here. Something is loose up there, unfortunately. And if she talking about cycle 29 or something like that, I'm like, girl, or cycle 24. What the? Let me check. What cycle? Okay. What cycle, I can't even spell cycle. What cycle did Tyra Banks mention? 25th cycle. I said 29. So she is talking about some potential 25th cycle that is going to be bigger than ever. Don't know what she's going to do. She's probably going to incorporate social media, because at this point, with social media existing, existed for a while, but at its height now, anybody could be a model. If you push yourself correctly on social media, gain an audience, do what you gotta do, you could be a model. And you don't gotta be a supermodel. You could be a model for anything. You know, you could reach certain heights that back then you probably wouldn't be able to reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different now. You know, cause now it's about fan base. If you don't got a strong fan base, it ain't gonna work. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be back again with another one.